What is up, YouTube? Longtime fans know me as Brett's daughter. We got a super cool video coming in for you guys today. Had the opportunity to get to record some shots for my dad. So check in with Brett and see what's going on.
Give it up, everybody. Make a little round of applause for McKenna's first ever YouTube intro video. I think she did a great job. So, as McKenna said on today's episode, we're going to be talking about a super secret load. Top secret. Can't talk much about it, but there is a few things that I can tell you and a little bit that I can show you. So we're going to take care of that, and then we're moving on to the Port of Baltimore and picking up a 315 cat excavator. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Right across these plains and prairies, Rocky Mountain highs, fade off into the distance like ghost riders in the sky. Black smoke and white line, steel horses side by side. It's more than just a living, y'all. Hell, it's our way of life. We're the last of the cowboys.
All right. Thank you, Miss McKenna, for doing that great intro. Now, listen, there is one thing I need to say about that. I need to say thank you to McKenna and Sean for taking the time out of getting up at the butt crack of dawn and coming out and shooting some really good film of this load. It's really, all the credit goes to them as far as being able to see this load. Without them getting up super early and meeting me on the road and taking a few shots for me, we wouldn't get any shots of this load at all. So special thanks to them. This was something we were allowed to do with this load. But around to the end of the video, there's gonna be a couple little bloopers that she did in there too that I'll put in there so you guys can see it. It was very cool of her to do that, and I really appreciate that. So this particular load, this is the first for me. Also, immediately went to because I know what's inside that box, it immediately went to the top of the list as the coolest things I've ever hauled. By far the coolest things, and it's such an honor to be able to haul it. What we got here is a 10-foot wide by 10-foot tall box. There is a piece in front of it that is the frame that goes with it. We are weighing in at about 15,000 pounds or 5,000 pounds on this thing. It was super light. Not very heavy. I didn't even know it was back there, other than a little bit of wind resistance. But what I can't do, what I was asked not to do, I should say, is talk about where it came from, where it went, or what's in the box. So I can't disclose any of that information. However, there is some things that I'm allowed to say. Obviously, because of McKenna getting up at the butt crack of dawn and coming down and shooting some film while I was driving, we did manage to get some film, which was perfectly okay with the customer. We did manage to get some film there. And what was inside this box is a literal piece of American history. There's no way to explain it without totally giving it away, but what I hauled here was a genuine 100% piece of American history, and for that to be on my trailer, and for that customer to trust our company and myself as a driver to move this kind of freight with this kind of, I don't know that you can put a dollar value to this thing. So that was super cool, and it was greatly appreciated, and I definitely took as much care as I could that their trust wasn't in a bad spot. So that being said, what I can say about this thing is, obviously you can see by some of the signs in the traveling that we're doing that we were going into Washington, D.C. with this thing. Obviously going into Washington has all kinds of issues with it. We thought there was going to be a serious traffic issue, and we got amazingly lucky, and we got in there at the right time, and there was very minimal traffic, and we kind of scooted right through. Now, what I will say about the load itself, the only thing I think I can say is at one point in that particular object's life, it was not on this planet. So, okay, well, before all of the alien people start freaking out and thinking I'm hauling stuff from Area 51, that is not what I'm talking about here. This is a literal piece of American history. It has nothing to do with aliens. So, that being said, that really is about all I can say about this load. We did have a little bit of trouble. I went in there to pick it up on Thursday. It started to rain a little bit. They obviously won't let this thing travel in the rain. I'm not 100% sure why. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but they wouldn't let it travel in the rain. So what we ended up having to do was back it back in the door, wait until Friday to take it out. Friday at 6 o'clock in the morning, rolled on out of there, got it delivered. Everything went really smooth. I was real happy with that. So the other interesting thing about this load is, and this may be the first one I've ever hauled that I was not allowed to touch it. Not allowed to touch the freight, not allowed to touch the securement. They did everything for me. The only thing that they asked me to do, and that I probably would not have hauled it if they didn't let me do this, but was to check the securement and make sure that it was appropriate and tight enough to hold the pieces to the trailer while they're traveling down the road. Obviously, that's my job. That's my expertise, not necessarily theirs. So they wanted me to check that and make sure that I was comfortable with the securement that they put on it. And I absolutely was. They did a great job. They probably did about twice as much as I would have. So they did a fantastic job. So we got that thing delivered. Now, as you're going to see in the video, there was also, we were going into a high traffic area, so that was also a concern. However, unbelievably, we got there at the absolutely perfect moment, and this road that I'm going down, you'll see me coming down right before I back in for delivery. That road is normally jam-packed with cars parked on both sides of the road. There's usually some food trucks in there, and there's traffic going both ways, like constantly, all lanes. So the fact that we got to that road at the time in which we did, and there was hardly any traffic at all, was unbelievable and so great for the movement of this particular object. And let the shit show begin. Well, there you go. We got the super top secret load delivered, and we are on our way to Baltimore to pick up a 315 cat excavator. Before I get into the dimensions on this thing, what happened here is because of the postponement on the super top secret load, because we postponed that one day, given that the weekend was a holiday, and as we talked about on the channel, there's travel restrictions for over-dimensional on holidays. I had scheduled a bulldozer, a D6 bulldozer, to be picked up at the Port of Baltimore, and the problem with that was all over-dimensional traffic had to be off the road by noon on Friday in all three of the states that I needed to go to. Obviously, I was going home for the weekend. I was taking that load to the house. It delivered in Michigan, Novi, Michigan, but I took it to the house for the weekend. So I had to be off the road by noon on Friday, and because we postponed one day, and I didn't get to delivery till about 7:30 in the morning. I got out of there about 7:30 in the morning, got up to Baltimore, it was about 9. I got out of there about 10 o'clock. Obviously, I can't make it from Baltimore to Ohio in 2 hours. So we knew that on Thursday, ended up having to give the D6 dozer back to the agent that I got it from. And luckily enough, he also had a legal load going into Michigan. Also going to Novi. he had a legal load going into Novi that I could transfer that, take the legal load instead of the Novi. So how I ended up with the 315 excavator was because I needed a legal load to be able to travel afternoon on Friday in order to get home for the weekend. So nothing super special about this excavator. It's a basic Cat 315 excavator, weighed in at about 35,000 pounds. We're legal width. It was actually 8 foot 4 inches wide, and I think it was 10 foot 6 on the trailer. We ended up being like 12 foot 4 overall. So really no big deal. Smooth load. I loaded it just like I always do. I took it to the back, spun it around. I actually ended up moving this one forward a little bit after I took it back and spun it around, just because it wasn't very big. So I was trying to get the weight to position correctly on the trailer, and I probably didn't do as good of a job. I got it legal. I got it to where it was fine on all my axles, but probably could have done a little bit better job because it kind of beat me up a little bit the whole time I was traveling. There either was too much or not enough weight on my drive tires, and it got me beat me up a little bit the whole time I had it. So something to be thought about when you're loading this stuff. You know, try to position it so that you get the best ride out of and you're gonna know where your axles are, where you want the weight in order to get the best ride out of your vehicle. But all right, at the Port of Baltimore. Got checked in. They told us our unit was in G1. Going to see if we can find it now. This is G-row. That's G1. There's nothing there. I'm a little bit worried. that guy took that one out of there. But let's see. Oh, here's the 315. This might be it right here. Let's see what we got. Serial number 0193 4ZWKX 40193. This is our baby right here. So here's it. He's just a little guy. Looks pretty good. Take a walk around, make sure we don't see anything obvious, which I'm not seeing anything obvious. Everything looks good. See if there's power to it. See if we get it. See if we can get it fired up here. Yeah, it looks like our screen is on. That's a plus. I don't know what miniature person drives these things. All right. Okay, so this excavator, you guys have seen me secure an excavator 100 times, so I really didn't, I didn't do any filming about the securement on it. It's the same, it's done the same as I've done every other excavator that I've hauled. So there's no real surprise there. The only interesting part to this this particular excavator was it came out of the Port of Baltimore. So Baltimore is back open. It looks like it's open for business. They're getting ships in. You can see one in the background of the video. They're getting ships in, starting to offload more and more equipment, and we're definitely starting to see more and more freight coming out of Baltimore. So that's a great sign. Very happy to see that. Y'all know Baltimore is kind of my bread and butter. Like, I'm there quite a bit. So in fact, I'm going to be there tomorrow. We got out of there Friday afternoon, took it up to deliver on Monday or Tuesday after the holiday. So I appreciate everybody tuning in today. I hope you found this this episode interesting. If you did, hit that like button. If you want to see more, consider hitting that subscribe button. Become part of the Patriot Specialized family. I also appreciate everybody who watches and comments and shares my videos. The channel's growing at a pretty good rate now, and it's super cool to watch all that, and I appreciate that. And I look forward to seeing everybody's comments on the next one. So until I see you again, stay safe out there.
Hey, what's up, guys? As you can see, I am not Brett, nor am I Patriot. The Patriot Specialized. All right, retry.
Take two.
Take two. Hey, what's up, you guys? Good morning. As you can see, I am not Brett. I am not Patriot Specialized. But this video, we're gonna do some different recording and capture a super top secret load for you guys. Can't talk about it too much, but hopefully get some good footage for you guys from that. Stay tuned.
He's just a little guy.
Also, Brett, a video to you. We better be on your top favorite of your kids.
That's a plus. I don't know what miniature person drives these things.